Welcome back to Random Therapy. So, today I've had a shout out from a really good mate of mine, FC, alright chum, and we were discussing things with a pressure washer, and, well, Rory actually bought this. He's bought it's the Worx. Now, it's a portable thing. It's the Worx Hydro Shot. Now, I've really not got I've not got the box for it, right? And basically we were just going to show you the limitations of this thing, because, well, if you're really into unboxing things, somebody's got umpteen videos for unboxing, there's umpteen other reviews. I just want to give my honest opinion on this, on, well, what I think about it. Now, one of the fascinating things for me is I like doing things on the cheap. So, as you can see I'm in the therapy greenhouse, which I've got a battery system which is connected to, if the camera would pop around here, which it's not gonna, so, but I've got a solar system in, right? And off my solar system I've got an inverter, and off the inverter, as you can see, the battery's charging. So, and actually the battery's sitting at a full charge. So the great news is that this is how flexible that this is. So because it's working on an inverter, I also have an inverter in my motorhome, which means I could take this away with me on my motorhome, because this was one of the things that we were going to be using it for. Right now, the flexibility is great, but there is loads of pros and cons, which my pros and cons will be for me, which might not necessarily be for you. So here's this pole, right? It's quite a long pole. Wee head goes in the end there, and as you can see, you turn it around and you've got various, like that's the spray, and you've got a 40%, 25%, 50%, sorry, 15%, and then a 0. So basically what it's saying is it goes from an increment of a straight line jet of water out to, well, 40 degrees of a spray, and then, well, we'll see what the shower one looks like, because as you can see, if you let's put this back there again, right, so as you can see in the head here, alright, so you've got things like, you'll see the 5 gold ones, right, and then you've got this one silver one. So the silver one at the top here, that's the shower. The rest are a different head in brass, which that's what's going to show weird, as I said. So there's, for instance, like so that, right, 40 degrees, right, 25 degrees, 15 degrees, and as you can see the straight line there, 0 degrees. Alright, now, quite sturdy built, because it's got brass fittings to it, okay? So pull the brass fitting, and it pops a gimp. Okay, so as you can see, it's basically your standard stuff. Alright, now, but here's the problem I've got with this. This is my first negative thing, right? If you look at the head, and you look at that head, it's different fitments. Now, here's where the problem for that comes in. That means then that this can only work into this, okay? Now, so, I'm just making sure I've got it in right, because I'd like it to work right first time. So I'll put that on, and then that's just your usual twist and lock. Now unfortunately, because I'm in the greenhouse here, but there you go. Right. Now, so now you've got that, all you do is slip in the battery, which is now fully charged. There's a wee safety button there, okay? So hold that in, pull in the trigger. Now there's my next problem. 130 psi, that's all this thing puts out, right? And because of the 130, I'm sorry, I was waving to the wife there, she's going for a walk. Because of the 130 psi, this isn't going to be as strong as a pressure washer. But, I'll put this down again. But I currently use a Karcher and I spent a lot of time and research on getting this right, and I bought a K4. And here's my K4. It's in bits. I didn't even get a full season out of that, and I kept it which I thought was stored properly, but lo and behold, the cylinder head on it has cracked due to frost. So that's going to be another video because I'm waiting on the parts coming for it. Once the parts come, I've done the strap down, I'll do the rebuild, and what I'll do is I'll do the rebuild and I'll do a test pressure wise on it, so if it doesn't work you're going to see what actually happened. So back to this and the portability of it. So I'll be honest with you, I've got mixed emotions on this because the power of it not being so good, right, it'll only work on certain things. Now if I put it onto a spray, the moss between my monoblock, the Karcher just gets rid of it, no bother. On this you've got to go into the 0% straight line and it lifts it, but you're there for ages. Then once you've got it out, then you've got to put it to a spray and then you've got to sweep it up. That's one of the downsides with this thing, right? But the difference with this is, with this fitment on the bottom here, you can use it to do two things. First one is, there's an extension, there's a pipe. There's a pipe that I've no got here, so, but it's in the house. But I'll get that when I go and get the bucket. Alright, so you can either put that pipe onto it and it just goes into a bucket of water. Here's your flexibility. Or you can put it direct to a hose which comes through your main water outlet, and that way that kind of helps the pressure of this slightly. So, but if you've got a wee job, which we've got on, like say the motorhome, when I park up, if I've been driving about, the amount of spray comes up on the back window, and it's plastic, it's like this stuff, okay, it's plastic like this, and if you try and rub it with the grit onto it, it just ruins it. So without further ado, let's stop the waffling. That was the wind chimes. Let's stop the waffling and let's get into what this can do. So the first thing I'm going to show you is, I'll turn the camera around here, okay, and there you go. So there's the dirt, right, that is lying, that is on the outside, okay. So with a bucket of water, I'm going to be able to do the flexible test and see with a bucket of water whether this will work or no, basically. Okay, right, let's go and get the bucket and the hose. Okay, so here's the hose, quite a good size. Right, now if I come down to here just to show you, right, there's the bucket. So open the hose up, as you can see. Right. So, filter, floating ball. Now, there's possibly a clip that goes on that. So, and there you go. Now, it's as simple as that, so if I can just get one to shot. There you go. Now that was because it was empty. I forgot about that. It's got to be pulling it through. So let's go and have a shot on this. I'll move this round to the greenhouse and let's see how this gets on. I'm going to try it on the 0 degrees. Well, to be fair, I'm quite impressed with that. Right, next one is bird shite on the top of the shed. Let me see that. Now, it would have helped if I brought this. There he is, but I didn't. So, right, so back to one. Right, well, again, that's actually ended up no bad, to be fair with you. No agitation at all on it, that's just pure dread on bird's dung. So, that's getting the thumbs up for us. Right. Here's a wee bit of a harder test now. I'm going to do this in two different bits, and what I'm going to show is the pressure from a bucket. Oh, it's lost his. That's it. Pressure from a bucket versus pressure from the tap. Now I'm in a different wee bit of the garden, right? But what I'm trying to protect is this for the water. So, I'm not sure how good this will work out. But as you can see, on the bottom there, right, this bit is actually, well, there's the lump of mud that you can see that gets splattered up with the rain, and that whole bottom deck is covered in mud. And let's go and set this up now and see if I can get something nice done with it. Right, this is the water for the bucket. Let's see how we got on. To be fair, not that great. Right, let's go and put the water on now. Right, I've now got it attached to the mains hose. Let's see if this helps it any better. Well, to be fair, that's all been done with just a wee 130 psi, not really expecting much. But also I've got to take into account that using the bucket as opposed to using the proper hose thing there, okay, well, you can't really, oh fuck, So, up to now, everything has just been a straight spray, either for a bucket or direct for the whole tap, right? Now, the pressure from the tap, as you've seen, especially on the deck boards there, right, it did move more than what it did for the bucket. So, the higher pressure from the tap does actually help this thing. But bear in mind, that's all been cleaned without any manipulation at only 130 psi. So, let's go to the motorhome. So, as you can see, right, I'm at the motorhome now. I'm just going to turn this camera around, alright. And what I'm looking at here is, as you can see that right here, a black streak, right. Now the black streak has actually come from, it's just basically the water, right, running down for the rain and the dirt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a setup. I'm going to see if this will take this off without any agitation. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to see if it will take it off with agitation. Here we go. There you go. Now, what I'll do is I'll bring you in close and I'll let you see this. So, even with the finger, that's actually hard grained on. This, on the other hand, was fairly slack, and as you can see with the agitation for the brush, look, it's cleaned it. That's just with water. There's no any detergent whatsoever. So, and like I said, one of the things I bought it for was the windows. Now, this is going to be my final test on this because the rain's coming on now as well. And I don't know what the bore is, so. But as you can see, I have got a massive coat of dust on my windscreen. Well, it's basically just because the sitting outside hearing the noise. So, without further ado, let's go and have a bash at this. happy with that. So viewer, there you have it. Personally, I was a bit on how this was going to go, but I must admit I've been surprised on certain things. Out of 10, I would probably, I'd actually give it an 8. Where it lets, it seems to let itself down is the battery to power the pump to control the suction with the bucket. It's not really that great, to be honest with you, no compared to plugging it in. But for the likes of me, if for instance I was, say, taking this with me on the motorhome, it would suffice to say that I would be able to use this to clear all the crap off my back window of my motorhome where I can't see, and any light and loose dirt, just to save it from sticking to the van. Wee bits about the garden was great. You could, though, I would say, you could use this to wash your car. Yeah, well, you couldn't use it to wash your car, but you could actually use it to rinse your car. So, for instance, if you were unfortunate that you're not like me, where I've got a driveway to work in, if you lived in a flat, for instance, and you were 3 flights up, it's quite a lot of hose you need to plug up to the house, and then run it all the way down through the close, and then get it onto this. Whereas putting into if you get a bucket of water, wash your car down by hand with a sponge, and then with this bad boy, you can actually just stick it into a bucket of clean water and rinse your car down, and you would get just as good results as, say, the heavy duty Karcher. So for the versatile and the flexibility, this thing I would say is fantastic. Definitely gets my vote. Price tag for it though, however, well, you know what, I'll leave that to you to decide, because it's based on an individual thing. So now, I can't remember the name, but there's another one of my subscribers from Glasgow area said, "Dude, I'm Scottish and I can hardly understand you. I hope this was better." If you are struggling to understand me, use the CC captions, because they actually didn't understand me either. Sometimes it makes the video even more confusing. So, but thanks for watching. I'd love a like off you. I'd love a comment below to see what your thoughts are actually on this and whether you think it's going to be worthwhile buying. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Please subscribe. This channel is for the community out there. If it's something you want to see, I'm prepared to do it for you. So, for the next one, I'll see you later.